Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Kim. Today is January 14th, 2020. This is zeroth episode for my new series of videos. In future episodes, we will be using Qt Toolkit, Microsoft Visual Studio, Intel Threading Building Blocks, and through Intel Threading Building Blocks, we will use OpenCL and SYCL. Lastly, we will also use C++ extension libraries that I developed by myself. At the end of this session, we will install Microsoft Visual Studio 2017, Qt Toolkit, Intel Threading Building Blocks, and OpenCL driver, and C++ extension library, and we will make system environment variable settings. Then we will create a simple Qt application. In this application, we will use my own C++ extension library, also Intel Threading Building Blocks, and OpenCL C++ library. In this Qt application, we will use parallel algorithm based on C++ standard parallel algorithm and Intel Threading Building Blocks. Then we will introduce OpenCL C++ interface SYCL library. Please note that we are using Microsoft C++ 2017 64-bit. We built our application. Build is successful. Exited normally. Click this link. So this is our Qt application. In this application, sum is 55. Sum is evaluated using parallel algorithm, and we listed OpenCL driver using OpenCL C++ library. Through this series of videos, I assume you have some level of C++ language, and I will help you learn things that other C++ YouTubers cannot teach you, things even your professors in computer science cannot teach you. Please note that this is a long-haul flight for our journey in future. I highly recommend you to install Notepad++, 7-zip, inno setup, Axialis IconWorkshop. We will install Visual Studio 2017, Intel OpenCL driver, Qt Toolkit, and we will make these system environment variable settings. We will make a fetch file and a command prompt. The contents of this fetch file will be like this. I will explain one by one. Then we will create our first OpenCL, TBB, Qt, MSVC, GUI application on Windows. Please note that I have two hardware graphic devices on my machine. One is Intel CPU built-in GPU device and NVIDIA graphic adapter card. This is motherboard, and motherboard has a slot through which one monitor is connected, and another NVIDIA graphic card is connected to another monitor. So, two hardware graphic devices and two monitors. Please note that as of today, January 14th, 2020, I installed latest version of Windows VER. Okay. I installed Windows 10 version 1909. Please upgrade or update your operating system to the latest version. Secondly, in my C drive, I have over 400 gigabytes free space. I highly recommend you to have at least 80 gigabytes or more. Now I will install Notepad++. Start your web browser, download. From this website, you can download latest version of Notepad++. For 64-bit Windows, click Installer, open folder, Language English. Next. So I will close my existing installation. Retry. So I installed latest version of Notepad. Now I will install 7-zip. Download 7-zip. From this website, I will download the 64-bit Windows installer. Close it. I will reboot, then I will install inno setup. I've just rebooted my machine. I will install inno setup. In your web browser, download inno setup. In this website, scroll down, click this link, Quick Start Pack. Double click it. Open folder, double click it. Install for all users. I accept license agreement. It will be installed program files x86 inno setup 6. Click next, 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 next. Install. Click finish. Click OK. Cancel. Go to Tools, Option, Compilers. Click this button. C drive, program files x86, inno setup 6. Select folder. Apply. OK. Now close it. Next time you start inno script setup, it will not complain. Now cancel. Close it. Now we will install Axialis IconWorkshop. We need this tool to create icon and graphics. From IconWorkshop website, you can download and install this software. Once you purchase this software, you can use it lifetime long. And its price is, for IconWorkshop Professional, only 69 euros. I highly recommend you to purchase this software or icon generator. Since this is free software, you can download and install icon generator too. I assume you have installed this software anyway. Since I installed our new software, I will restart my machine. After restarting my machine, this session continues. I just restarted my machine. Now we have to install Visual Studio 2017. But as of today, January 14th, 2020, Visual Studio 2017 is not available if you do not have MSDN subscription. So I recommend you to obtain or purchase Visual Studio 2017 or MSDN subscription. In my case, I downloaded offline installation for Visual Studio 2017. This is offline setup installer. Now double click, continue. I will close all files. Please note that as of today, Qt Toolkit does not support Visual Studio 2019, so we need Visual Studio 2017. I need desktop development with C++. In my case, I also use .NET Desktop Development. If you don't need .NET Desktop Development, you don't need to click this package. Now, individual component, scroll down. I also use C++ CLI support, but if you don't need it, you don't need to select it. These are default selection. After installing, we can update. I also selected MFC and ATL support. If you don't need MFC and ATL support, then you don't need to select this one. But I need it anyway. Now install. Now Visual Studio is installed on your machine. Click Launch. Not now, maybe later. Dock. I would select C++. Start Visual Studio. Now we can close it. In the Visual Studio 2017, go to Tools, Extensions and Update. Update. Close it. I installed Visual Studio 2017 version 15.2. Now close it. Click Start button. Visual Studio 2017. Right click. More. Pin to taskbar. Let's start it once again. Go to Tool, Extension and Update. Update, Product Update, Visual Studio Update. Click Update. Now close Visual Studio. Update. After installation, you can update your Visual Studio installation. This is my download speed. To download 2.5 GB, it takes just a few minutes. Now installation is complete. Click Launch. Go to Help. About Microsoft Visual Studio. Now I updated Visual Studio 2017 to the latest version, 15.9.18. Now close it. Close it. Please restart your machine. This session continues after restarting my machine. I've just restarted my machine. Now open up File Explorer, Downloads. We can delete these things. Up to this point, we installed Visual Studio 2017. Now we will install Intel OpenCL driver. Before we install OpenCL driver, right-click, Device Manager, Display Adapter. If Intel UHD graphic device is not installed, then you have to delete or update driver, like this, if it is not installed. Okay? Now open up your web browser, download Intel driver for Windows 10. Double-click this link, click Get Started. Download now. Open. I agree the license terms and condition. Install. Accept. Yes. Launch. In this phase, 3 software updates available. Download all updates. Please watch it carefully. Install all updates. We may have reboot our system. Click Next. Next. Accept the terms in the license agreement. Next. Typical. Install. Finish. Please be patient. If there is no response, then you may have to reboot your machine. I just restarted my machine. Open up web browser once again. Download Intel driver. Click this link. Get started. It will rescan your machine. Install all updates. Next. Install. Click Finish. Install. I accept the terms in the license agreement. Next. Now we have to restart our machine. This session continues after restarting my machine. I've just restarted my machine. Open up your web browser once again. Download Intel driver. Click this link. Get started. It will rescan your machine. Now you should see this message. Your Intel software is up to date. Also, please note that in graphics section, you should see Intel graphic device listed here. Okay, if your Intel graphic device is not listed here, then you have to right click, device manager, display adapter. If Intel device is not listed here, even though you have Intel CPU, then right click, either disable driver or then scan hardware changes or update driver. Whatever you do, if you want to install OpenCL driver for Intel GPU device, display adapter section should list Intel graphic device. Now open up a new tab. Before I further proceed, I will change the language settings. Search, control panel, clock and region, administrative. I will change it to English United States. I will restart my machine. After restarting my machine, this session continues. I've just restarted my machine. Now open up your web browser once again. Download Intel OpenCL driver. Hit enter. Click this link, Home Intel SDK for OpenCL application. Click download. I will copy this link and paste it here. Click download. I will sign in. Please note that registration is free. I highly recommend you to register Intel website. Intel System Studio. Scroll down. We will download Intel Threading Building Block, Add, and OpenCL tool for Visual Studio. Please note that Intel System Studio is also available for Linux operating system. Now continue to download. Click this button. Click download. Download started. Please be patient. If you want to create cross-platform for Linux operating system or Mac operating system, you can select different tools. So once you learn how to use OpenCL and Qt on Windows platform, you can also create the same application on Mac OS or Linux operating system. Now click this link. I will change the language setting. Now in your download folder, unzip it. Double click this link. Double click it. Click next. I accept terms of license agreement. Next. I do not consent to the collection of my information. Next. If you want to integrate, you can select this, but I don't need it, so I will disable it. Next. Customize. Next. I don't need Eclipse. Eclipse is not installed on my machine. All I need is Intel Threading Building Block and OpenCL. Save. Next. Now click Finish. OK. If you want to, please try to read this document. Now I will close it. We don't need to restart our machine, but I will restart my machine anyway. This session continues after restarting my machine. I've just restarted my machine. Up to this point, we installed Intel OpenCL driver and Intel Threading Building Blocks. Now we will install Qt Toolkit. Open up your web browser, download Qt Toolkit offline. Then double-click this link. From this website, Windows host, please double-click this link. In my case, I already downloaded this file, so I will stop it. If you downloaded Qt open source Windows, please double-click it. Click Next. I accept the service term. Skip. Next. Accept default folder. Next. Please select all. We will not install Visual Studio 2015 and we will not install Universal Windows Platform application. We will not install Android. In some future episode, when we develop application for Android, we can reinstall. I will not select Qt script deprecated. Select all. So I have not selected Microsoft Visual Studio 2015. I have not selected these options. I have not selected Qt script, but in Developer and Designer tool, I selected all. If your hard drive space is not enough, you can unselect MinGW 32-bit, MinGW 32-bit. Now click Next. I have read and agreed to the terms contained in the license agreement. Next. Next. Install. Now installation is completed. Click Finish. Our Qt creator just started. Now let's create a test application. New file or project. Application, Qt widget application. Choose. Click Next. Click Next. Click Next. Click Next. We will select Microsoft Visual C++ 2017 64-bit. I will unselect this option. Click Next. Click Finish. Go to Build. Build All. Now click this button. Our application is built successfully. Because we haven't installed Windows Runtime Device, we will just ignore it because we will not develop Universal Windows Platform or UWP application. This session become too long. In my next episode, we will make system environment variable settings. If you be generous and give likes button, then I will film videos that nobody ever tried before. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.